having the national support and arts and culture driving it as the beacon and the main person for social cohesion and nation building has worked phenomenally. Our previous deputy minister, just before she was replaced, was setting up this massive drive to make sure that social cohesion and nation building becomes a key point in all spheres of government. And then we got this minister and this deputy minister who have to date not had one conversation with us, even though we were doing critical work. And so it becomes important for us to understand when we look at the minister, he keeps on saying in public, he's not opposed to working with anyone. He doesn't care if people is in opposition to his thinking, if people is not aligned to his thinking. For him, it's about the country. So he will always speak to people, regardless of the differences they have. But with us, for us, it's a complete fabrication and lie, because with all the requests internally, externally, from the portfolio committee, from the deputy president's office, from all stakeholders and role players within DSEC and beyond, he has refused to have a conversation with us with no explanation to date. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Hope the week has been treating you well thus far. Guys, today, this video is going to be a straight talking, honest video. Up front, this video is about what has been happening between myself or a group that I've been working with and Gayton McKenzie, as well as this AfriForum Solidarity going to the US. So let's start with Gayton. So for the past just under 6 years, before Gayton McKenzie was made Minister of Arts and Culture, I worked in arts and culture on a project based on social cohesion and nation building. It's a project that was instated by Paul Mashatile when he was minister, and it had to do with us running out programs across the country, building social cohesion and nation building in various communities, rural, urban, everywhere. We built everywhere. We had significant impact, big drives that we did across the country on various topics, including xenophobia, racism, transformation, gender-based violence, anti-bullying, anything that you can think of that have been positive and beneficial to the communities that we live in and that we need to deal with. We were known as social cohesion advocates. I was the Secretary General for Social Cohesion and Nation Building. And so the group of people that I work with, phenomenal people, highly skilled, educated, working in their communities, working all over across the country. And so on the night that everything was introduced about the new ministers coming in, we were specifically looking at Ramaphosa appointing somebody that's going to be great for that department. Because we worked with Natim Tetwa, who, when we look back now, was actually great when he was doing what he was doing as a politician. And we then had Zizi Kodwa, who was not so great when we look back. But then we got Gayton McKenzie. A lot of people had positive hopes. We thought that things are going to be good. But I just want to tell you, and I'm going to put it out there today, because we have gone through all the normal processes of following internal processes. And to date, nothing has happened. It's been months. Nothing has happened. So this project has been running for over 12 years successfully in this country. And Parliament used to get regular updates about this project, because social cohesion and nation building is so important for South Africa because of our history and where we come from. But I want to tell you, while Gayton McKenzie is looking like this amazing minister outside, administrationally, inside, in the department, what he's doing there is not as great as you think it might be. He came in and he cancelled this project that have been successfully running for 12 years. And to date, there has been nothing new brought into that space. So even though we were helping and supporting so many communities of the worst off communities in this country, he just cancelled that. And you know what is the worst part? He cancelled it without having a conversation with us as a group. He cancelled it, even though he said to us multiple times before we got an email that we were our program was cancelled. after multiple times him saying to my colleagues and I that we will be having a meeting, we will follow all the normal processes, you know, where you first have a debrief and all of that. He did absolutely none of that. And he has not taken any accountability to this. We've been sending emails for months now between the portfolio committee and the deputy president's office to try and get him to a table so that we have this discussion, because you cannot stop things that have been working positively in this country. We get it when you stop stuff that didn't work and that doesn't make sense. But things that was helping the most vulnerable in our society, you cannot just stop that. We have families and people that were supported in the gender-based violence space specifically. Significantly, the anti-violence in communities, working with young men and youth. These are significant and urgent and important programs that was run across the country, supported through DSEC. Now, we didn't stop our work. We continue to do our work. I'm an anti-racist activist, as you know. I continue to host projects and programs. But having the national support and arts and culture driving it as the beacon and the main person for social cohesion and nation building has worked phenomenally. Our previous deputy minister, just before she was replaced, was setting up this massive drive to make sure that social cohesion and nation building becomes a key point in all spheres of government. And then we got this minister and this deputy minister, who have to date not had one conversation with us, even though we were doing critical work. And so it becomes important for us to understand when we look at the minister. He keeps on saying in public, he's not opposed to working with anyone. He doesn't care if people is in opposition to his thinking, if people is not aligned to his thinking. For him, it's about the country. So he will always speak to people, regardless of the differences they have. But with us, it's a complete fabrication and lie, because with all the requests, internally, externally, from the portfolio committee, from the deputy president's office, from all stakeholders and role players within DSEC and beyond, he has refused to have a conversation with us with no explanation to date. And this is the same man that goes out and tell people that he can speak to anybody. He doesn't have enemies. He doesn't believe in this thing. He will work with them. But when we look at who he does want to work with, who he does want to speak to, we see him speaking to rich white people, like Rob Hersov. You know, there's a great relationship between the two of them, thinking that they have this significant insight into South Africa that the rest of us lack, even though we're highly qualified and skilled. On top of that, we also see that he went to go speak to AfriForum and Solidarity, people that hate black people, people that have no love or need to be around black people. They have shown us that over and over. They went to the US to go and negatively impact our country. But this person is willing to meet with all of those people. But the people who have been positively working towards making South Africa a better place, those people are not being tended to. We are treated like secondary citizens, and to date we don't know why. And we have made the efforts. His advisors, everybody that's helping him in arts and culture, they have all received requests, letters, emails. All these things were done. So I want to put it out there that we shouldn't get excited with what we see on the outside. All those other things that they're doing to blow it up and make it look like they are really serving our people, those are all make-believe and fantasy. It's not really serving the lowest and poorest and underserved communities in our country. It's not. And so we have to understand that, and we have to also look into how do we hold people like this accountable? How do we allow people like this to continue with this agenda of not keeping us 100% in the loop on why they're doing certain things that from the outside and from where we're sitting is not it's not geared towards building our society and building South Africa for the better tomorrow. So I thought today was the day I'm going to put it out there. I don't know if this video is going to go as far as I hope it does, but I hope that Gayton McKenzie sees this video and he makes the necessary or takes the necessary steps to have this conversation, because according to him, he doesn't mind speaking to anybody that is in opposition to him. So I'm telling you now, everybody, I'm putting it in the public, That's a lie, because he has not done it with us. And so we are putting it out there. So now let's see if the minister is who he says he is and he does what he says he does. I am waiting. We are waiting.